Hello everyone and welcome back to another tutorial. This time we are looking into Daz Studio. I'm sorry for that. And we are also looking into rigging. Or I want to show you how to rig the hair that we made last time. This is also a tutorial on rigging clothing, for example, or things in general. Okay, let's start because this is a lot of stuff. We are in Daz. Just a quick explanation. You have some basic tools up in the corner. You have lights. You have your basic save, open, import, export function here. And you have a big viewport in the center. You have and your Daz will probably look different than mine. Because I already screwed around with mine. You have panels on the side. This is what we actually need today for the start of all this. So what we're going to need today is the scene tab, a little bit of smart content, just a little bit. We will need the tools, and we will need a little bit of render settings, and we will need surfaces very quickly. Okay, let's start by importing stuff in Daz. I know I've marked a lot of stuff and we're going through this in a second. Scene is the same as in Hexagon. It gives you a rundown on everything you have in your scene. Smart content is everything that you have installed over the Daz install client. Let me quickly change my view, so now we don't have the stuff. Anyway, so smart content is everything you have installed. For example, your figures. We are going to call up on the base figure. So as you can see, I have Genesis 2 base female, 3 female, and 8. I'm working with 2, so I'm going to load this into the scene. There we have it. And now we are basically done with smart content. If you worked on Genesis 3 or 8 or 2, load in the one you need. Then we go back to the scene tab, and this is where we want to stay on this side. Other side, we're currently in render settings. That is good. Okay. Import an existing file. You can file import. You can use the smaller import button if it's here. Navigate to the folder where your stuff is. Click on the correct item and open. Wait, this was the wrong button, my bad. Okay. Yeah, play around with this, and this is so okay. Here we have it. One problem we have with this is currently it's its own object. And if we click on the surface tab, all the materials that you set up are in the surfaces tab as textures, and you have a lot of stuff to edit because we imported this under Iray, under the NVIDIA Iray engine settings. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually delete that. We are going to set in render settings. This is where we are right now. We are going to set the engine to 3D Light, RSL. Okay. There's a few things falling away because this render engine is just different. And we are going to import our object again. Looks the same. because we are currently in the texture shaded version, so you can change the way your textures and your models look with this neat little button, but we don't need this actually today. Okay, the difference is now in the Surfaces tab. Let me quickly clean up. Because now if I choose my hair, you have a much simpler overview of this, and this is what I usually work with. Make sure that the diffuse color is set to 225, 225, 225, and in the diffuse color you can either set a base color for your hair, like this, or if you have a if you have any kind of texture prepared, you can also upload this in the diffuse color, and this will be the basic color. You can also basically decide for the lighting model, like plastic, a little bit of shine, metallic shine, matte skin is a little bit shiny, and yeah, basically what it says. Okay, I'm not going into more detail in this. We can do a separate tutorial on textures and stuff, and bump maps if you want, so just tell me in the comments. Okay, clean up again. We're done with the surfaces actually. Last thing, we need to put the hair. So right now if I move the person, the hair stays because it's not connected in any way. We're going to fix that. We click in the scene tab on our hair, edit, object, transfer utility. So transfer utility opens a little window. You can select the scene item, which is your base Genesis model. Item shape is default. You choose your object, in this case the hair that you made. It doesn't matter what it's called. And projection template. This is not a dress, this is not footwear, this is not full body, these aren't gloves, it's hair, etc. So you choose whatever fits best. If you have no idea what it is, full body is your option. Okay, hair. You only have the option of shoulder length and short hair, and I will show you why this is a problem. Okay, we're going to set shoulder length hair, except now it transfers the stuff. So it appears, well, it disappears from the C tab. This is because it's now part of the Genesis figure. If you click on the little triangle next to the, before the name, you open up like a hierarchy, and there is our hair. It's now part of the body, and if I move the body, for example, if I turn the head, you can see that part of the hair turns and part of the hair stays. This is neat and all, but it's not really what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to rig this hair from this point on, so that we actually can move this hair around. Okay. I know this was a lot of explanation, but this is necessary for necessary to actually define. Also, you can see that the figure popped open now that we moved the neck. We can close this up by clicking on the triangle on the hip. This opens basically up the movement options for the Genesis to female, and this opens up the one for the hair, which we will need. What we will also do is we will click this little eye and make Genesis to female disappear for now. Okay, this is our model. Let's work with this. Step 1, we're opening the tool settings. And we start. Okay. So, a little bit more explanation. We have a lot of tools and we only need the joint editor and the geometry editor and a little bit of node weight. But we start with geometry editor. Looks like this. Make sure you have the polygon selection selected, and you have a lot of hello. Oh, we have nothing selected, so this is empty. We click on the Baldandi and suddenly we have a lot of face groups, surfaces. Surfaces is your materials, and regions. Okay, we are only interested in the face groups. You can basically see two big face groups. Everything that belongs to the head is now tinted. Actually, let me make this a little bit better to see. Okay, so everything that is reddish is part of the head, and everything else is part of the neck and is connected to the joint of the to the bone of the neck. Okay. I know I didn't say this, but we're going to need parameters, display and show bones on. This shows all the bones that are that we took from the skeleton of the Genesis 2 femur and copied it over to the skeleton of our hair. So you can see that there are that this has, for example, this has a shoulder bone for some reason. It doesn't need one, it just has one. So basically this this whole figure is a lot more cluttered than we actually want and need. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna unclutter this. For this we are going from geometry editor to joint editor, and this is where we basically have all our bones. Now you choose the bone you don't want. For example, the left pectoral bone. Of course, a human body doesn't have a bone on the left pectoral, but for the purpose of moving your figure, you need one in Daz or in any rendering rigging software. Okay, right click into the viewport, delete bone. There is the option of delete unused bones, and I don't use this because this can get messy. So I'm going to do this bone by bone. Note that if you choose a bone in a family structure, it always, if you delete it, jumps to the bone on top. So, okay. Now we have the hip bone, which we need, abdomen, which we need, chest, neck, head, which we need. So we need to keep this structure, and from here on out we can add our own bones. You can also see the white lines in the model, which show us where the bones end, or where the mesh is tied to the bone. Yeah, this is basically where the mesh is tied to the bone, and the rest of this is tied to another bone or not tied at all. Okay. Click on Baldandi again. We choose the geometry editor again. What we're going to do is we're going to subdivide the whole mesh that we made into smaller parts, which we will then connect with bones. Okay. I'm starting with the front bangs here with the long bangs on the side. Okay. So we're in the geometry editor. This means our options right click change to whatever we need in the geometry. So selection mode. Drag selection means everything that I drag my mouse over gets marked. This is neat, but it doesn't help us. We want the marquee selection, which when we pull the mouse with left click, we get this nice triangle, this nice rectangle, and everything inside it is connected. So choose a working angle and do it. Also, if you want to add more to your selection, you don't hit shift, you hit control, hold control and pull. I don't know why this is control in this case. This is a bit different between, this is a difference between Daz and Hexagon, and I don't know why, but for now it's just this. Okay. What we're going to do is we have all these empty face groups. They have 0 count of any vertices, so there's nothing inside it. We're clicking on it, right click, assign selected faces to groups, double click to rename it, and this is the left bang 01. Okay. Now we can do this nice little thing. We can just use this eye and make it invisible, which also means we can't grab any of the vertices, which is what we want. We're grabbing the next group of vertices. This will be a very rigid model in the end, but this is fine. Okay. We same thing, assign selected faces to groups, double click to rename, left bang 02, make invisible, rinse repeat. Okay, looks good. Left bang 03 and invisible, and we're grabbing the rest and say left bang and 04 and okay, making this invisible. Now for the other side, same shenanigans. Okay, looks good. It doesn't have to be perfectly the same, and it doesn't have to be symmetric, so don't sweat about this. Just okay, right bang 1. Assign selected faces to groups, right bang 02, just in case we have a little more. Okay, where is it? Oh, okay, and assign selected faces to groups, right bang 03 end. Okay. Okay, so far so good. I'm going to skip the next part, so you will just see the final product in this. Actually, let me show you something else. Before we go into the break, so I selected the top, and if you run out of groups, you can just right click on the name on the face group, create face group from selected. You can give it a name, for example, tail 01, and you basically have your group selected. You can also, if you don't want a group, you can also right click, remove selected group, and you have it removed. Okay. Okay, we're going to make this invisible. We are grabbing this, and we want to put everything we have selected now onto the head. So right click on head, assign selected faces to groups, means they are now part of the head. That was easy. Okay, see you after I divided this. Okay, we are just almost done. Just one more thing. You can split your mesh. For example, if you want the as an example, I'm creating two different face groups for the tip. So tail, tip, this is right, and this will be tail, tip, left. Okay, our neck group is now empty, so we are going to remove this, and we are going to make everything visible again. Okay, everything I said. Okay, there we have it. Okay, so far so good. Now comes the fun part. We are going to go into the joint editor. I'm going to wait, what did I just click? No, everything's fine. I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to draw some new lines. For example, this one, and that's all I'm going to do. Okay. Now, what you want to do probably is either write this down or make a handy chart. Okay, so I built the chart. I'm going to save this as a picture and have it on the corner so we can see it. Actually, I can just do this and we can see it in the corner. Okay. So we need this reference for the joint editor, because we will now make bones that have the exact same name. And we will start with the bang. So we're clicking on the head. We have the head selected. Right click into the viewport. Create child bone. Not sibling bone. Not duplicate. Child bone. We are going to name this right bang 01. Bone label will be created as you click on it, and the rotation order is YZX. This is because genital to female is also set in YZX. Okay, accept. Now we're going to the selection group, what we marked, and we're going to choose the exact same thing, which is right bang 01. Okay, we see that the assigned bone has the same name, right bang 01. Okay, and now the bone is on top of the head, which we don't want. what we want is to set the bone to the same points. And the good thing is, as soon as we set selection group, the viewport shows us where the model has the bone set. So we're going to drag this little button on top of these markers. I have no idea why it's lagging. Usually it doesn't. Maybe it's because I have so much stuff open. Also, you can see the distortion in the background. Don't mind. Don't mind this. This is just the software trying to trick you and make you scared. Because it feels your fear. Okay. Looks good. Again, right click, create, child bone, right, bang 02. Bone label will be made by the thing, YZX, accept, right, bang 02. Thank you very much. And now you can see that the bone is actually in the place that, or it starts at the place where the other ends. This is why we set up the other bone before this. Oh, nice. I hit. Almost. Almost. Okay. Yeah, the distortion thing is normal. What isn't normal is the fact that this lags so much. Okay. Create. Child bone. Right. Bang 03. End. YZX. Accept. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so it morphs back into the original shape as soon as you let go of the as soon as you let go of the bone. Okay. Just to make sure that we are right click, align all bones, and you will see that they now connect to each other at the ends are sitting on top of the model, which is what we want. Okay. I'm going to see you when I set up all the bones. I'm going to show you the bone structure then, and see you guys in a minute. Actually, I forgot to show you something as well, so we're going right back in. For the next bang, we're going to grab the head again, because in our diagram, I'm going to pull this up on the beacon. The bangs start from the head, so we need the head at the parent bone. And if we make more child bones for the head, we need to start up there again. Give me a second. Okay. So I'm grabbing my head again, right click, create child bone, left bang 01. YZX, we all know this. Okay. Left bang 01. Yeah. And we align the bone. Okay. Now see you on the other side. So we have fully rigged our model. If, like me, you did something horribly wrong and typed the wrong name, tail tip wrong is definitely not tail tip left. Slight typo. Right click, edit, rename node, and you can just type in the right name, or in this case the left name. Okay, and we are done. Align all bones. Whoop. Looks good. And we're almost done. At least for the very simple version of this. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to put all the... So now we have a bone structure and we have the mesh settee bones, but right now nothing moves. So if I grab the left bang and I move this, okay, maybe use that. You can see that the model doesn't follow. That is because we click on the name again on the head of the model, and that's because the mesh isn't bound to the actual bone structure. So what we're going to do is right click, memorize figure rigging, so that the next time we load this up, it knows where the bones are, where they start, where they end. And then let me think. No, we are going to tool settings. We are going to weight editing. What this does is it combines the mesh with the bone structure, and we're going to do this very simple. Right click, weight editing, last option, weight editing, fill by bone selection groups. Okay, so far so catastrophic. This is just a simple click. Yeah, it's nothing more. And now, in theory, if I didn't mess up, if we rotate this, the mesh follows. Right now, this looks very rigid. That's because this is the render scene. So you can see I've saved this, so file, save as scene, and then you give it a name like Beldandi rig. Save. Yes, we want to save this file again. So save after you've split up the mesh. Save up after you've set the first bones. Save often. Okay. We're going to the surfaces. We're going to give this a few very simple maps. So let's make this blue because blue is nice. Actually, yeah. The elastic has a different map. We're going to make this orange. For the hair, I also have some bump maps. This is the black and white maps, and this is not pretty. Yeah, I know this isn't pretty. What this is basically it gives it even more depth and actually this is the wrong bump map. Where's my AI bump? There it is. Okay. What this does is it gives the hair just a little bit more texture to it, a little bit more depth, even though it's fake. Okay. We can turn the bones off again. We can also maybe set the tool setting to the universal tool. Okay. What we're going to do next is file, save as, support asset, figure prop asset. Ignore the mess. We are calling this Beldandy hair. The decent user file is a DAF. This is fine. Set category is default hair long. It is compatible with Genesis 2 female, every kind of Genesis 2 female. Product name is probably Goddess hair. Vendor name would be mine. I don't care. I'm not going to sell this. Item name. Why not Beldandy? Okay. So now we save this as a figure prop. Okay, so we're going to delete this. Oh no! Oh, progress is not gone. We're going to select Genesis to female, smart content here, and now we can see that Beldandy is here. Nice! We're going to double click this. This means it just attaches the rigged hair to our person. And now if I just use my mouse, I can already choose the parts. And now if I rig this, this is much smoother. So I can just, for example, say, okay, she's standing in the wind. So all the hair parts are wavy. And you can see that this is already, yeah, you can see the break here. This is because we just filled the selection group, which makes it very rigid model. We can go into more detail and do this finer. If you want, I can show you, but this is a lot of work. If you want, I will absolutely show you. Tell me in the comments, not a problem. I'm just telling you beforehand, this is a lot of work to rig this in minutia and in detail. Yeah. Okay, that's it for today. We're already, I don't know. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you all stay safe and healthy, and see you guys next time.